to not or clear within 6 months.
Right. Those who do not transplant themselves to Connaught or Clare, these are towns in England, right, where they had slave ships. Read.
Shall be guilty of high treason.
They shall be guilty of high treason. This is English history. This is something that he doesn't understand about his own Irish history. And he was referring to all the people within the crown that was under King James. Scotland, Wales, Ireland, and France. King James was also king over France. Read.
You will then be sent into America.
Oliver Cromwell said this in 1653, that he will send the Scots, the Irish, and the Welsh, not the English. Well, this was an Englishman saying he will send the Scots, not Scottish, but the Scots, the people from Ireland and the Welsh, into where? What is, read it again?
You will then be sent into America.
You will then be sent to America. This is out the white man's mouth in England. A white man called Oliver Cromwell. It's a history. Read.
Or some other part beyond the sea.
Or some other part beyond the sea. Why? Because the parts of beyond the sea wasn't named yet in 1653. There was no California yet in 1653. There was no Texas or Chicago yet in 1653. Any more there?
The Royal African Company sent 249 ships.
From England, you had the Royal African Company. What did they do? Read it again.
Sent 249 ships.
They had 249 English ships shipping out these Scots, Irish, and Welsh people from England. Read.
To the West Indies.
He sent the Welsh, the Scots, and the Irish to the West Indies. Read.
Sending 60,000 African and Irish into the Americas.
He sent Irish and Africans to be slaves in the Americas in 1653. What does that mean? That doesn't add up to white history.
Right.
That does not sound like white history in regards to the slaves. So meaning what? There's a hole in the history about the Irish slaves. What do you got here? 2 paragraphs before. Give me what's written in blue right there. Read.
When the English came to America.
When the English came to America, read.
There was an indigenous people here.
There was Native Indians here. Read.
Called the Indians.
Called the Indians, the Native Indians. Read.
The land was filled with them.
Read.
Once the Indians were driven out of the land.
When the Indians were driven out of the land.
The whites, English, confiscated the land.
The white people confiscated another people's land. Read. This is the pattern of the Englishman. Read.
Right.
And took on their name.
And he did what?
Took on their name.
He took on the Native Indians' names of their towns. Massapequa. What's the Native Indian names out here in Tennessee? Alabama. Goddamn. Alabama. Idaho. Coosa. Come on, man. Tennessee. Is Tennessee an English word? Is that an English word? Is that what language of European is Tennessee? The white man took on the Native Indians' name for the state of Tennessee. The what?
The Apache helicopter.
Apache helicopter. Read.
When Oliver Cromwell
the Tomahawk missile. Read.
When Oliver Cromwell enslaved.
When Oliver Cromwell who?
Enslaved. And deported the Irish and Scots and Brits out of the land. He gave the land to his soldiers.
He gave the land to his soldiers. That's what we saw just now. We saw a son of an English soldier who was given an Irish identity, twisted up in someone else's history of slavery. Read.
Under the Land Confiscation Act.
They had a what?
The Land Confiscation Act.
They had a what?
A Land Confiscation Act.
In UK, they had a what?
Land Confiscation Act.
That's how the Englishman got Ireland. That's why the Englishmen walking around Ireland right now. With the Land Confiscation Act. Took their names. Took on the name of somebody else. And wore it as if it was their own. That's Scottish history. That's Welsh history. That's Irish history. That's French history. Because King James was a black man, you know.
That's right.
King James was a black man, and white people. So first of all, how could you have a white King Charles III if King Charles I and II were black?
Right.
Makes no sense. You walking around with a white King Charles. Those things are white King Charles.
Right.
And what was all the other people in England called the Black Prince? And all their names over there, Macduff. That Duff means black. Read.
Any more in blue?
It was said that he did this because he couldn't afford to pay his soldiers.
Read it again.
He couldn't afford to pay his soldiers.
How did the white man become an Irish?
He couldn't afford to pay his soldiers.
How did a white man become a Scotsman?
He couldn't afford to pay his soldiers.
Now, black people in America, you ever looked at what your last name is or where your last name comes from? Are you a black man walking around with Irish names and Scottish names? In America, do we have Irish and Scottish slave masters, or did we have English slave masters? Because the white boy just said that the English last names, the English language was not the same as the Irish language. He said he lost his Irish language to the English. Nah, I don't think that's exactly correct according to history. You see what I'm saying? The English white man went to Ireland, conquered the land, took the land for themselves, and gave them the identity of the people that they robbed, so they can inherit their real estate. In the Land Confiscation Act, Oliver Cromwell, England, 1653. Real history. Read.
We will see the gruesome history surrounding this event in future chapters. Remember that the Scots, Irish, and Welsh are the same people.
Hold on. The Scots, English, and the Welsh were the same people. But why did it not say the English? Because we look around today. English, Scots, Welsh people are all white. You say, oh well, they're all the same people. Nah. The Negroes were the same people. The black Scots, the black Irish, the black Welsh were the same people. And they had a race war in the UK. Keep reading. Read what's in red. What we got there? Oliver Cromwell in Ireland. Read.
Oliver Cromwell was Lord Protector of the Commonwealth of England.
There you go.
Ireland.
So Oliver Cromwell was the Lord Protector of the white country in Europe, because all the countries surrounding it were black. They were ruled by the Jews that was carried into Roman captivity, where the Roman captivity grew into Germany, France, Spain, and England, and onwards. Read.
And Scotland, after the assassination of the Scottish.
After what?
The assassination of the Scottish.
The white man in England went to go assassinate a black king in Europe. Read.
English King Charles I, upon taking military command of the Commonwealth.
Why is it saying that? Because before the Renaissance, black people ruled England. Before the Renaissance, black people ruled Europe.
Right.
Up until the 1600s.
Right.
Read.
He invaded Ireland.
And here's another thing. In the Bible, the Jews are black. And the Romans absorbed those black Jews into the Roman Empire. And we grew. Why? Because no army does well without these Negroes in their history. Whoever has Negroes in their army rules the world. That's the pattern of the world. If you have these Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians called the Israelites in the Egyptian army, the Egyptians become the superpower of the earth. If you take these Israelites and you put them in the Assyrian Empire, the Assyrians become the superpower of the earth. If you take these people and you put them into the Roman Empire, the Roman Empire becomes the superpower of the earth. And if you take these same Israelites, blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, and you absorb them into the American military, then the American military becomes the superpower on the earth. Any more there?
And history states that he committed genocide in Ireland.
Meaning what? The island is not white people. That's black people. Read.
Against the black population.
Against the who?
The black population.
The books are saying that the Irish were a black population.
Right.
They were not white. You know why they call them mud bloods? Why do the English call the Irish mud bloods? Because mud is black. Mud is our complexion. They're saying that there's black in your blood. You guys are wearing black history, calling yourself an Irish and a Scot and a Welsh. Read.
The black Irish that he didn't kill, he sold into the slave trade.
That's in history. What year was that? Keep going.
In 1641,
And what?
1641,
Wasn't the 1600s the years that we came to the Americas as slaves? The Bible said the Israelites was carried to the four corners of the earth. We were translated from Africa, yes, and from Ireland, and from Scotland, and Wales, and there was a race war in Europe. All right, that's real history. All right, keep reading. In what?
in 1641, Cromwell had 300,000 black Irish sold into the North Atlantic slave trade.
Right, that's according to history. So are you telling me in the American slave trade, in the North Atlantic slave trade, white people was being sold there? White people was being sold at Wall Street, Manhattan, New York? You be lying to yourself. That's not true. That's not true. Here's what you want to do. If you don't know anything in the earth, you have to follow the ISUPK on your YouTube, man.
That's right.
You have to follow us because this is the home of the truth.
Right.
And the whole world has been pushing a lie. Let's not get into Benjamin Franklin's letters. We can go to Benjamin Franklin's letters and he'll say the same thing. That the Irish and the Welsh were black. And then they wanted to create America, to create a new white front. And that's what the Patriotic Front is talking about. The sacrifice that they're talking about is trying to make the world a white influential place. Because we know how well them black Europeans dressed. And we know that white people do not dress like that at all today and never will, never had. That's my time. Brother.
Yeah, right.